Right. So as usual, the promise and our duty. Never forget that what we are all doing here is to be a service of the world. That is what we should always remember. In that you may grow, that is something else. You may get a very high responsibility, that's okay. But if what we are doing is not for the service of the world, it is of no use. Any knowledge which is not utilized for service is a waste. Even our mundane education, not only yogic education. If you read a course in medicine and you don't serve the people, no use. If you read engineering and you don't serve a company, you won't get anything. You get a personal profit of a knowledge when you utilize the knowledge to serve somebody. Here also the yogic knowledge is supposed to serve the world. That you always remember. Our orientation is to serve. But you can serve only when you get the knowledge. You can be an engineer after a hard struggle. You can be a doctor after a hard struggle. You can be a scientist after a hard struggle and reading and reading and reading. That is what our Upanishadic seers used to say, Swadhyayan ma pramada. You have to go on reading and acquiring knowledge. Next step. The three madnesses. Whatever we have, minimum for us, and the rest must be returned to God. That is exactly what is meant by sacrifice. Whatever you have earned, you sacrifice the major share to the world and minimum so that you may continue your life. Next. Next. Second madness, if there is a God, we should experience it. And within a month I have realized that what the Hindu religion says is not false. That is Sri Aurobindo's experience. And yesterday I showed you a slide about the mother saying, what is the use of praying when you don't become? So here it is, I am experiencing in myself the science of which it speaks. Sri Aurobindo says, the last line. So that must be our first goal. The whole life of our attitude in our life must be turned to divine, to realize God within ourselves first, because he says the Hindu religion declares that the way lies in one's body, in one's own mind. And here again there is a problem, the word Hindu. Repeatedly I go on telling you that Newton's law does not belong to Newton, it is universal. Einstein's law is not Einstein's law, it is universal. But still we call it an Einstein's law, universal. The dharma of the laws of nature, right from Sat, Chit, Anand, supermind, mind, psychic being, and the lower three, these dharmas were first given to humanity by Hindu seers. Therefore, we call it as Hindu dharma, that's all. The Hindus don't have any right, specific patent right on it. Nobody can say that I have a patent right for gravitational laws. Nobody should use gravitational laws except when we permit it. So, the all perceiving, all pervading, all understanding dharma was the first enunciated by Hindus. Hence, it is called Hindu dharma. You remember that. And what does the Hindu dharma say? It says, the path to realize God is by turning inwards. Deho Devalayaha. And modern science, especially neurologists, have proved that the Indian gods do exist in the same way as they are pictured in our religion. You have it ready? Show it. For example, we know that until the brain is linked with the body, you can't work. If there is a disconnection here between the upper and the lower, the trunk and the brain, you can't do anything. And there will be always an obstruction. And who is the Lord of the obstruction? Vinayaka. And you will find that exactly as we have envisaged the Vinayaka, in our brain also there is a form which is exactly like Vinayaka, with all his various physical manifestations. So you operate the brain and see it, it is visible. And for that discovery, the man who discovered this and wrote a book, Physiology and Vedic Rigs, Tony Nader was his name, he is still alive. And not only he is still alive, he is supposed to be the Nader Ram who is ruling the Ramarajya. They have formed a parallel government already. It is working since 5 years. So things are moving for that Akhanda Bharat. And very fast. The only thing is we should be properly linked with proper understanding. So, Holland, I think. Mahesh Yogi is beside.
Mahesh Yogi's group.
Mahesh Yogi. Very big group having a parallel government. You see this? I am not able to read it. No, you read it.
So, in this ventral view of the brain, we see the clear correspondence between Ganesha and the pons, medulla, and the cerebellum. So, that is
You see the similarities? And here you see the ears of it. And what is this part?
cerebellum.
Cerebellum and the ears of the
Ganesha.
Ganesha. Next,
In the brain.
this one. This is known as the pons. The face, the pons. This is the medulla, and this is the oblongata.
The trunk corresponds to the medulla of the brain.
You see that? It's okay. Let us not dwell deep into it. Finish it. Come to the second madness. Similarly, he has shown how the various divinities are exactly present as they are in the human body with their ayudhas. This is the Matsyavatara and all that it comes. Don't waste time on that. Go to the other slide. It is only to show that things are going fast in the world, where the Deho Devalaya is being proved